Hey
Five,
y'all,
four,
it's
three,
SW
two, one.
Podcast Wednesday, and we are in the building. What's happening? What's up? How y'all
What's
doing?
going on?
What's up, Queen?
It's Wednesday, y'all. Look, I'm looking all tired, all that stuff, because I am. But it's Wednesday, though. Weekend almost here. That's a good thing.
It's
The
Wednesday.
weekend is almost here. SW Podcast Wednesday. What's happening, Queen?
It is Wednesday. We are winding down this month. The month of July is already winding down. See, I had to think about that. It is it's Wednesday, July 13th, and oh my goodness, like the not only is the week flying by, but this month
It's
alone
gone.
is gone
It's
already.
gone.
And I gotta move the end of this month. So I just been like,
Ooh.
whew, yeah, I've been in the wind. I ain't got the energy, I ain't got the excess nothing. I'm unenergized these
That
days.
moving be that headache.
It's a
That
huge headache.
moving be that headache. That moving be that headache.
I hate
Mm-mm.
moving. I wish I could just I wish I was a rich person so that I could have somebody come in and pack it all and everything.
And pack it all up for you.
I don't gotta do none of it. But
You can still do that if you want to, though, Queen.
what, have somebody pack it?
Have somebody to pack it up. You just got to see how much they want.
And that's what I'm telling you. I ain't finna do it. between that and the rent being extremely high
Yeah,
and you know gas prices being up, U-Haul prices up, storage
everything
is
up.
up, everything is up. We can't, and you can't say too much about it because it's going on economical wise across the world.
And then you ain't really got no choice.
Yeah.
Because how you got to eat, you got to live, all of that stuff. You really
What we
ain't
gonna
got no
do?
choice. Y'all, I was like, people talking about complaining about the gas. I'm like, child, look, I'm still go where I want to go, get where I got to get, because I'm still got to put gas in this car. I ain't gonna do that. Put gas in this car just to be going to work.
You gotta move around. Things gotta still get done. So
That part, or just carpool with somebody. Look, they carpool 1 week, you carpool 1 week. I don't know.
right.
That might work.
It'll
And
and
some
then
people
that.
catching the bus.
Yep. And then with that, it only thing about catching the bus is it's hard when you catching the bus in this heat.
Yeah.
Whew, baby. I ain't made for this type of heat right here. But y'all, how y'all doing today? We are in the building and we having our auntie conversation. And but
Oh Lord, y'all know how we do. Y'all know how
yes,
we do.
yes.
Don't
But
be
we're gonna
acting
go ahead
like
and
y'all don't know.
jump into the show because we're gonna be on here quick, fast, and in a hurry today, y'all. It's a great conversation, but I don't have a lot of time for y'all today, and I'm just being honest. Um, we gotta get packed. I gotta still
Being
keep
honest.
packing, and life still must keep going. But because we are encouraged to always give you all our time and our energy because we appreciate what we do and we appreciate our listeners and our viewers. With that being said, we're gonna jump into the quote of the day and get this show on the road. Y'all ready?
Ooh.
All right, let's do this. So the quote of the day is, let me go down. So there we go. A child's youth is fleeting. Be their pillars while you are still strong enough to support them. Author unknown. What you think of that quote, Queen?
Mm, I like that. Hmm. You got to be strong for these kids. Like it'd be hard, and for all of you know. I seen this video today, and I
Uh-huh.
don't know. A lot of y'all probably seen it with the little kids hitting the police officer, and the little boy out there in his underwear cussing the police officer out. And I'm just saying to myself, one, what is little boy gonna be at 10 years from now? He got two choices. He either gonna get it together and find something that he really interested in while he in school, or that could be sports, academics, whatever it may be. But the way he was out there cursing, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, look, boy, baby, do you know your alphabets?
He was
Do you
rather
know how to
young. I didn't
spell?
watch the
And he
video that you
was
sent.
young.
He
He
was
was
young.
young,
But I could tell from the
young.
video they were young. I could tell from the
And
video
then
they
the
were
other
young.
one, I was like, then second. that might be the same cop that might arrest you.
He'll be dead by then. But or
And
retired.
that's what somebody said.
I'm talking about the
Somebody
boy.
said
I'm talking
stuff.
about
The boy,
I'm talking about
the,
the
the
cop, not the
officer.
boy. Yeah. But what I will
So,
say about that child is that the kid is in a position, the kid is either hearing adults talk about the police in that capacity to where he has that type of enlightenment to know that they
mm-hmm,
are not always right for you. We can I'm gonna bring a person on here, a naturalist. I know a couple of naturalists now since I've been studying like the laws of the world, the way things
mm-hmm.
actually go, what laws are really here to protect us, and how you can
What's
actually get out
not?
of certain things because the way the laws are written. We have a special ignorance to what we don't know. And that
Mm-hmm.
young man, that young, not even a young man, that ain't even a little, that's not even a
That's a
young boy,
child.
that's a child, that's a
That's a
toddler sized
child.
child. He looked between like 3 and 5. He's so little.
Mm-hmm.
But that child has picked up and heard, he probably lost a family member to the police killing him. He has heard somebody discussing that the police are negative and bad people, all of the above.
And he was
Because I'm
angry.
gonna tell you something. When my baby, when my baby was 3 years old, her first encounter with the police officer was them pulling us over and them ripping our car apart and them handcuffing her father, them throwing her father to the ground. This is her first encounter. She woke up 3 years old out of her sleep while we was traveling down south for the holiday. Out her sleep. They had nothing on him. He just is a convicted felon, and they felt the
Mm-hmm.
need to disrupt our lives that way. And they let him. He got out within I think a couple of days, but they was just holding him for nothing. They
Just
had us
holding
pay
him for
all this
nothing.
money to bail him out, and nobody. And it was a Alachua County. Nobody would take the case, but my
Ooh.
kid, because Alachua County get away with all that kind of stuff all the
All
time.
of that. All of it.
But my kid was messed up mentally for that for a long time. I had to take my kid to therapy. She had to talk to people. She had to actually get an understanding as to why her father was treated that way by the police. And y'all have
By the
come to her
police.
daycare and told her that y'all help us.
Hmm.
So that kid may be suffering from something that he's seen, heard, or will see at another point in his life. And that's the sad part about it because he has heard some negative things, but he's also putting it on display.
Mm-hmm.
He still has to realize that these are authority, these are grown people. They will lock you up just for talking to them that way. They threatened my
Most
brother. They say
definitely.
my brother was shooting a bird at some other dudes at Pockets. They was out there loudly drinking. So the Quentin shot a bird at one of the boys that they was talking mess to. The police officer said
Mm-hmm.
that he shot a bird at him and was ready to take him to jail. Wrangled him around his neck and everything. If I didn't get out of the car, my brother would have went to jail that night. Probably would have died because I know his
I was gonna
mouth.
say he probably,
Cause his mouth, he wouldn't have sat back and let, cause he know he ain't do
especially
nothing
when,
wrong.
especially when he know he ain't do nothing wrong.
So it's
Especially when he
it's
know he ain't do nothing wrong.
it's a lot of different things that child probably has seen, but they have to go ahead and teach that child differently
Yeah.
because if they want to see their kid make it past a certain age or have certain milestones in life, they're going to definitely have to update him on what he need to be saying and what he need
And
not
how
to
he
be
need to be
saying.
said and what, yeah. And that's the respect for your elders.
Hmm.
That that's the main thing. Just respect, not yeah, he police, but just the respect for older people, people that's older than you. But who knows? Parents probably don't be respecting people that's older than them. So
Yep. Or just
yeah,
or just that community standard. They probably just don't have no respect for the police. It just nobody over there might have it. But regardless of the situation, you're still a kid. And you gotta, as a child, I did childlike things. As an adult, I
adult,
did adult
do
like things.
adult
I have
things.
progressed to that. You have to earn your space in that. And that's the thing with these children these days. We're not doing that no more. They're not doing that no more.
Mm-mm.
They born with the notion that they got the same rights as everybody else, or they have already achieved
They
a certain
already
type of
cheat. Yeah.
enlightenment Yeah, they're born
Because
like
they
that
want
now.
the recognition now.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want it. They want it. They want it. This where we at though. This where
So
we
a
at.
child's youth is fleeting. Be their pillars while you're still strong enough to support them. And I think that the caption resonates to what's happening these days because you can, as long as you can hold their hand, hold their hand.
Yeah.
But when it's time to let it go, they have to be
You got to let it
in the
go.
right mindset to have that hand let go. You can't let their hand go when you ain't showed them nothing, or taught them nothing. It's a lot you got to do to make sure that they are right to step out into this world to have um that knowledge. But the, today's conversation, the reason why this quote resonated with today's conversation is because um, due to so many child support and frequencies or issues, you don't have parents or fathers that can have that real hand in hand feel with raising their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're gonna talk about the way the system is set up to bring down the to affect the black families and how the population of a lot of poor black people are caught up in the child support system. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into that conversation. But again, a child's youth is fleeting. Be their pillars while you are still strong enough to support them because you're gonna get weak and you're gonna get old and you ain't gonna be able to do a lot of
You ain't
things
gonna
that
be
you used to
what?
do.
The parent child does switch. Parent
Yes,
become
it
child and
does.
child become parent. It does switch. I have to tell patients that all the time when they be with me and being that intimate conversation with me about their family and their kids and how they feel. And I tell them, look, it switches. Then you have to take care of your parent.
Yep, it's gonna
Now you
switch.
don't want to give up your authority for your child to take care of you like your parents did you. So you got to let them do. You still have, you still in your right mind. You still have your opinion and what you want and how you want things ran, but it's gonna come to the point that you just not gonna be able to make good decisions
You're
anymore.
not gonna be able to make the decisions at all. I
So
watch I literally watch this this father son duo on TikTok. An older white gentleman. He has real bad dementia, and his son he lives between both of his sons.
hmm
And so certain weeks he's with one son and he always asking about the other son, and then or things that's at the other son house. When one week he with this son and he always asks about the things that at his house. He can't remember half the time that he done sold his house. He can't remember half
yeah.
the time that his sons pay his bills. He can't remember half the time if he's eating.
hmm
And if you don't have the proper people taking care of you, they will take pure advantage of you. So treat
Yeah.
people good. I say that all
Yeah.
the time. Treat people good because, baby, somebody got to take care of you, and you don't know what the hell they gonna do to you.
Treat them good, but you churn everybody.
Everybody, and
Nieces
them
and
the one,
everybody.
and
Nieces,
because your kids will
nephews.
do something to you too. What you
Yeah,
mean?
everybody. Everybody.
Treat everybody good.
Everybody.
That's
Everybody.
right. That's right. You got to treat people with respect, and you got to hold yourself to regards, and when it comes to certain things, because you don't want to be the person that has nobody to call on. You don't want to be the person that when you
Yeah.
get to a certain age, you can't even lean on nobody.
Mm-mm.
When people get older, they need to lean. My grandmother just got diagnosed with early stages of dementia, Alzheimer's,
Mm-hmm.
and when we went to see her this past weekend, girl, she when we was leaving, my grandmother cried.
She cried.
Oh my God! Listen, my grandmother has not cried in years, like in front of openly. She done cried around me because I used to
Yeah.
be over there all the time. And when
Mm-hmm.
things was going on, but now that she's out with my aunt and they're way further out, I don't get to see her as often. I only get to go out there maybe like once or twice during the week. But seeing, like, when me and my brother was leaving, she said to us, she was like, "Y'all come back and see me as fast as y'all can," because she don't know now how long she got. She don't know.
Yeah.
She feeling like I need to see people as much as I can
As
now.
much as
You know what I'm
possible.
saying?
Yeah.
Like not just for the simple fact that I'm old, but I want to see y'all. I
She
want to
want
know
to
y'all.
see you. Yeah.
She want to feel you in her
She want to be
presence. She
able to
want
feel
to
you,
touch
touch
you,
you, hug you, kiss
everything.
you, love on you. That's what. Yeah. She
Memory.
want to
It's
see
a
you. Yeah.
memory she don't want to lose. She don't want to lose the image of who we are. She don't want to
Yeah.
lose all that because she know it's coming. She saw her mother go through it, so she knows it's coming. So we got to be a strong foundation for our people. Just like we taking care of our kids now, it's gonna reverse.
It is.
It's gonna reverse. So, as the statement says, a child's youth is fleeting, be their pillars while you are still strong enough to support them. While I'm still strong enough to be there for my grandmother, I'm gonna be there because I'm gonna get weak like my grandmother one day and not be able to lift this and not be able to do that.
Yeah.
While I'm strong enough to be there and run for my kids, I'm gonna continue to do that for family members, for friends who need me. You got to continue to be pillars for people because at some point, all that stuff turned back where you need people.
We don't need them. And there's a lot of lonely older people out here.
So many.
A lot of lonely older people. I know from working with them, and some of them I feel bad for them because they don't have nobody. They don't have nobody at all. And some of them they have people like their kids, but
Nobody want to be messed
child,
up with them.
they don't want to be messed up with them. And
Mm-hmm.
child, it could be real crazy. It could be real
And
crazy
you can
and
see
real
why with a
sad.
lot of people though, because
Yeah,
when I'm
some
dealing
you
with,
can.
oh my God, like when I used to work in guardianship and I used to see a lot of those people had family members, they had kids and all, and they went and got guardians over their moms and parents. They didn't want to have
Hmm.
the parents, they want them the kids to have nothing to do with their estate. They didn't want nobody. So
That
you would rather have a guardian over you than your own child because you treated your child so bad. You worried about if she gonna turn around and treat you bad.
treat you bad. Look, they feel
So
like they treating them bad when they take them to the nursing home.
yeah, that ain't always the case.
Yeah, they feel a lot of them feel that, especially I'll say especially a lot of the wealthy ones that I didn't work with.
What they
Like
want
that
them
was,
people to do? Quit their job and sit home and take care of them?
child, they feel like that be their punishment.
So y'all listen, the Office of Child Support Enforcement's core mission is dedicated to establishing paternity and obtaining child support in order to encourage responsible parenting, um, family self-sufficiency, and child well-being, to recognize the essential role of both parents in supporting their children. That's one part of the mission. Listen to the second part of the mission. The National Child Support Program assures that assistance in obtaining support is available to children through locating parents, establishing paternity, establishing and modifying support obligations. But to enforce, the mission changed. The mission started off with we want to make sure that all kids have a parent
All
and
kids
they
have
have
a
the
parent.
same parental support. The mission changed at the end when it said we're going to enforce monetary obligations and penalties on people who do not pay child support. So that's we're gonna get down to the real root of the nation's problem when it comes to black people on child support. I don't care about a lot of other races with the child support because as we're gonna learn about statistics today, child support has been a phenomenon that has affected the black culture in this country
Yeah.
for years. So we're gonna jump into that. Dennis with you. What's up, Dennis? You ladies are
Hey,
gorgeous, and
Dennis.
I love this podcast. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's going on, Siobhan?
Hey, Siobhan.
So, okay. So as far as this goes, we're gonna start off with a few current conversations. So, do do
Mm,
do do do.
child
Here we go.
support.
Key points. We're gonna start off with a few key points. AFDC is the child's father until the father reimburses. What does this say about the custodial parents' income? Okay,
Mm,
so this is gonna be the first thing we're gonna start off with because I don't know. Well, let me give you a little bit of history. I don't know if a lot of people know how child support works, but if child support is not because you and your baby daddy broke up, I'm gonna go put you on child support. That's not what child
nope.
support for. Child support is not for because we're not going to talk about we're going to talk about today why you yourself utilizes child support, not why ever because it's child
It's
support
different
works
for
in a
everybody,
different situation. Everybody got a different,
everybody's situation different.
it's a situational thing. So sometimes you got people that just literally on child support because their baby mama hate them. Sometimes you got child support
It's
on
true.
people literally because that man now moved on.
and don't want you.
And the another key factor about child support is that it affects black men more than it affects black women. So,
Yeah.
all right. So now to explain this key point, AFDC is the child's father until the father reimburses. If you receive any type of assistance, let me keep that key point up there. If you receive any type of assistance, if you get any medical expenses through Medicaid, if you receive any food stamp assistance through AFDC, you will, that father or the
Will pay for that.
non-custodial parent is reporting to have to pay that back. And do you understand why that's a stupid ass thing to do? Because won't you come up with an arrangement for you and your baby father,
Mm-hmm.
go and get it notarized, submit it to the court or whatever way, or just have it notarized and y'all can keep it between yourselves. And if the agreement falls off, y'all can go to court for it then. But as soon as you put the court in your business, now the court becomes the father. And that's just in all honesty. If you ain't got no, especially if you're using their Medicaid and their food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
If you put your kid's father on child support because y'all mutually agree that he need to be on child support, whoop the fucking do. Ain't no problem with that. That's on him and you. That's y'all decision.
And
Y'all
some
came to that
men do
decision.
do that.
I know
Some men do
several
that.
men who have
Do
actually
that
put
because they just don't
themselves
be
on
really
child
want to
support.
deal with the woman.
Exactly. But a lot of times, those parents or those women are not on assistance. So that
Mm-hmm.
child support check comes straight to the house. But if you
Yeah.
on assistance, the government and the state is going to get 100% of that money back before your child touch that money.
Oh yeah, they gonna get their cut. They cut off the top, and then you get the rest.
So say for instance, if your child support payment every 2 weeks is $150 and your child has already utilized over $150 worth of Medicare services or food stamps, your child gets
Mm-hmm.
nothing. So you don't get to
Mm-hmm.
benefit your child.
Mm.
That's one. Step two, when women have to find a new job, we find a new job. We don't got to worry about nobody taking our license because of unpayment. We don't got to worry about any certifications being removed because of unpayment. We don't have to think about a lot of those things because we're the custodial
90
parent.
days or none of that.
None of that. But if that father missed one or two payments because he done fell behind in the midst of trying to find a job, his license can be suspended,
Mm-hmm.
which then in turn means that he ain't can't get around legally to make no money.
Mm-hmm.
Everything either illegally or he got to spend more money just to make money. He can go to prison after the four. If the child support balance, this is what it is. If the man misses up to four payments and or up to $2,500 in payments, he gets a warrant issued for his arrest. How does that benefit y'all child? Stupid. I just want to know. Like I just be wanting to know when we think about if so when he go to jail, who taking care of your child? Because
Nobody.
half of the parents who got their baby daddies on child support, they don't got no jobs.
Nobody. Nobody ain't taking care of the child.
So
They
when it
still living
affects
off
low
the assistance
off the
that they
assistance,
get.
so that low income household that already that's receiving income from the government, health insurance from the government, receiving everything from the government.
Mm-hmm.
Now father is incarcerated by the government. The mother still living on government societal things. If the father was the only one that had that job, why that child went with that father from the beginning? If you could not do anything for your child without
He
depending on the
should have been
government,
living
he
with the
should have been with that father
he
anyway.
should have been with the daddy anyway.
Now, if we're gonna really worry about things, we need to think about that type of stuff. We put these men on child support after laying up having babies with them and getting and getting knocked up by people who we know ain't financially stable. Just
Yeah.
so you can turn around and put him on child support and send him to jail. So now is he not only now is he not able to talk to his child and deal with his child and be a father to his child, he can't even take care of his damn child.
And he probably wasn't talking to him dealing with him anyway, because she was keeping him from him
Because keeping
anyway.
them from him, keeping them from him.
They were keeping him from him anyway. Like, you can't go over there like that. That go back to one of them posters when that little girl got her hair braided. Her daddy got her hair braided, and her mama sat up there and
That was
literally
stupid.
cut that. I was like, this is crazy.
Dennis, I agree. I think it's for their own gratification too. I think that a lot of people, and we're talking about situational standards when it comes to things because, okay, because we're going to talk about the other side of child support too. We're not going to only, oh, we got another thing. Yes, yes, Jason. I ain't even got to that part yet. The credit
Mm-hmm.
report, it's all, I got it all here, baby. I'm ready. I got a
All of it.
list. I got a list of things. But the credit report, okay. So
And
this
that
is
should not even be on somebody's credit report, but it is.
because you know what it ends up doing is that the it doesn't take away your debt. You got
Mm-hmm.
debts now occurring because of that. So your car done got
And they
repossessed because you locked up. That's a credit report issue. So receiving child support payments is often essential for custodial parent families, considering roughly 25% of them live in poverty, and we're talking about Black families right now. But
okay.
targeting and punishing people who cannot pay fees does not help any fucking body. If why punish somebody if they ain't got a job to pay it? Why are we putting penalties on top of fees and fees? Why are we stacking up fees on a person who has no job? Instead of when they get that job, they start getting their check garnished again. So you rather see
Now with that, I will say they can go to the office and get a form saying that they don't have a job and stuff
it
like
don't
that. Now,
stop the payment. It don't stop the
but
fees.
it won't stop the
Yes.
fees. But it do. I know it gives them a little time to try to find a job before they start having to repay. And
So
that's for
there's a
people
30
and
day.
that's for also for people incarcerated too. They have to have
But
that
that and
form.
that's
And
only in Florida right now because I looked that up, and I know I
hmm
did check that out. But there is and for the incarcerated ones, I'm about to tell you about that one. But for the most part, the law does not consider whether parents avoid paying child support because they do not want to or because they cannot afford to. So the law does not take your personal situation um to consideration when they're putting these fees on you. They're just like, oh, okay, well, we don't know if he can pay or not pay. It just might be his choice not to. But another thing I want to point out is that um most of this, when I'm looking up this, you would not believe that when they were targeting this conversation for child support, the only people they were speaking to were fathers.
they want speaking to mothers because there's mothers out there too
There's
on
plenty of
child
mothers
support.
on child support.
hmm
There's plenty of women on child support that do that go through.
That don't pay.
But do you think it's getting
That do the
the
same thing.
man don't push it the way the women push it. They don't
And I
push.
always say that to men, like I can hurt men say, I won't go put my baby mama on child support, or I don't want custody of the kids. I won't do them like that. I'm like, but they'll do you like
That's because that's like Dennis said. I think it's for their own gratification. It ain't
hmm
for the child. It don't even benefit the child half of the time when you think about it. But mm, okay. Nearly all who are in arrears over child support have very low incomes. In one study,
hmm
and this is a California study, 80% of those in arrears had annual incomes below $20,000.
And
Their
they can
arrears
waive
be
those
over
weirs.
$20,000. Yeah, yeah. The
And
baby
those,
mama
yeah,
can
the women can waive those weirs. And for those women, for women not to just look, just waive that. Like, come on, man,
waive it.
waive it. Look, me personally, I had to go to child support after 14 years of a verbal agreement that we had for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
2 years, you just stopped being consistent. It was just too, it just I just got overwhelmed and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
Because 14 years, we had an agreement that was good,
and then you bet that.
but you backed out. So I had to take matters into my own hands, which I did not want to do. And I contemplated that thing for a whole year, because I did not want to put him in that situation. But we got in that courthouse and that nigga tried to shine on me.
About all the
But the
stuff you
judge,
had going on,
all
and
the
that
stuff I had going on, and the judge say, well, rears will be $45,000. Miss Johnson, how all these are payments will be broken down into monthly payments added to the child support that we're gonna give to you.
collect. Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. He said something else. I say, sir, You can waive that $45,000.
Cause,
He say,
cause,
man, he say,
cause what is it
Miss,
gonna do for you? It's not helping
yeah,
you.
he say, Miss Johnson, you say I can waive the $45,000 that Mr. White owes you? Yes, you can waive that because between you going all the way back to when my children was babies,
And he been
me and
doing
this
before then.
and this he was doing. It's just
Mm-hmm.
the last 2 years he stopped being consistent and really stopped. So we can start from that point, from them 2 years ago. We ain't finna start from 14 years ago. Nah, I ain't
No,
even
cause
finna
then
do,
that's
do him like
nasty.
that. Nah, what? Then you'll be I
But
was just like,
but you
I
see
wasn't
what
finna do him
happened
like
though.
that.
But you see what
Mm-hmm.
happened though. The justice system is set up to put
It's
him,
set up now.
because you know what they was gonna end up doing. He wouldn't have been able to afford that. His monthly payments would have been so high that that would have took away from his own household. He wouldn't have been able to be
Mm-hmm.
sustainable in his life. And how does that help your child?
Not at all.
How does that help your child that you don't help put their daddy behind bars? Because that's how I look at it. That's exactly how I look
It's
at it. Like,
crazy.
I'm taking
And
him
I'm
away from y'all.
and you got some females. They literally call up there.
Yep.
I mean, they call. They ain't got that check. They call up there because it usually sometimes it take a while to go through the system
Yes.
before they realize that you ain't paid something. And I know that side from dealing with my brother and my husband. I know that side from dealing with them. And that's who I thought about sitting up in that courtroom.
Yep.
And all the other black men that women done done.
Exactly. Done
That's
done
who I
wrong.
thought about
That has
that
the
done done
opportunity
wrong.
to waive rears. I have a friend. I talked to him. He was like, my baby mama won't raise, won't, I do everything for my child. His child 20 something. Still in college, he still do everything for his child. And he got to still pay arrears on a child that's in college who he's still helping to take care of, because she don't want to go up there and
And they
cancel
can go up there and just
it.
cancel.
It happens just like this.
They can go up there and cancel it.
It happens
It's
so
crazy.
fast.
The system crazy now, and it's designed to kill the
Break it.
black family.
It is. And that's exactly what it says. It says that um as debt grows and enforcement measures are used, employment, housing, and familiar bonds are all put at risk. So family bonds are all put at risk when all this stuff going on.
Hmm.
Also says ruining the credit scores and suspending the licenses of low income non-custodial parents can make it harder for them to achieve the financial stability they need to provide for their children, while incarceration makes it impossible. So more than likely when they are put in prison, your minimum, I believe the minimum for getting out of prison once they put you in jail for child support is you got to pay a certain amount to get out. If,
Hmm.
like, before they send you, so if you're in court and they bring you to court and they say you got to pay this today and you don't have to go to jail, if you don't pay this today you're
Hmm.
going to jail.
You're
More than
going to
likely
jail,
they're going to jail. So
and you still gonna have to end up paying it
still got to
to
pay
get
all
out
that back.
anyway.
Still got to pay all that back. Or, and guess what? The minimum time frame that they send in jail, 2 years.
Mm.
So that's 2 years of no payments from him because you want to keep the arrears going. That's 2 years of no knowing your child. That's 2 years of your child blaming the father for being absent. And
When
all
it
he
was
did
the mama.
went, oh my God, it's ridiculous. So the measures of enforcement target black men with carceral punishment as well as economical. So not only, excuse me, are they economically being challenged with life, they can't even, they in prison. They done created a prison record. Now they convicted felons for
Hmm.
child
Oh,
support.
especially of a man that ain't never had a record, but got a record just by because he was on child support.
It's crazy. I'm sitting here thinking about that. The things that we could do as a community to actually lessen some of the issues within child support. Because if child support actually is for the right purposes, is not the way it's written up in the system is never going to be for the right purposes. But
Hmm.
the court didn't create the baby with you, so why you involving them in y'all situation? If you ain't got to involve them in the situation, don't put them in the
Don't
situation.
put them in there.
Figure it out first and foremost. And if you got a stupid ass baby parent, or if you got a stupid ass child mother or a stupid child father, you chose that. You knew what you was dealing with before you
Hmm.
laid up there and got pregnant. So now y'all both sitting up here looking all stupid because y'all both done had a baby and neither one of y'all want to deal with each other. So y'all just gonna insert child support.
It's funny sitting up in that courtroom because you would know with a whole bunch of other
It'd be
people
so many people.
and listening to everybody case. Now, some people I was like, nigga, you know what? That was just what I had to say. You need to stop talking about you only getting paid such. Because some people I was just like, some of y'all got this, y'all in here lying out y'all teeth. Y'all in here lying out y'all teeth. I know y'all is, but it's some people that truly, like my husband, he went and put himself on child support, and he got ribs when him and her was together. But she was not what she was not waiting. She like hell no, fuck that nigga.
Yeah, because they don't be caring.
No,
It's all about a get back versus what's
all
best
about
for the
get back.
kid. It never goes
All
right.
about get back.
It never goes right. So as we were talking about before with the AFDC situation, that's a situation that can be prevented. Removing the
Mm-hmm.
non-custodial parents' credentials is then followed up by incarceration. I just mentioned that. If you, and to me personally, I want to I actually now talk about what makes a parent custodial. Um, Mothers automatically become the custodial parent. In Florida, every parent has the same right until there's an agreement put into place.
Agreement.
And
Yep.
unless you do not involve the court ain't going to get involved in Florida. Throughout other states, it's different. It falls under a different
And that
variance.
person name, that father name got to be on that birth certificate for him to
Yes,
even have any rights. So that play a big part. I learned that too
that
during
is.
all this process.
But if even if a man ain't signed the birth certificate, you can still put him on child support because they do testing. You send it out who
Yeah.
you think the father is. And then he can. What end up happening is he gonna say that ain't my child. I want a DNA test. He got to pay for that test. If the mother know for sure, if she say for sure that's her child, the court pay for the DNA test, and it still come out the
Hmm.
father's money. Ain't nothing set up
The
right in
sheriff,
this country
cause they
for the
have
black
to,
man.
cause they have to pay the sheriff to come out to give you the what's his name, the papers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So every time they send out an order, they got to call the sheriff to go deliver the order. Like, and they have to pay them. It's crazy.
So they said that though many states did not pass through a portion of these payments, and we're talking about the payments that remember when I said earlier that when you if you have AFDC or any type of government assistance,
They get
um,
their money.
they get their money off top. So
Mhm.
with that being said, some of the states do not even pass through a portion of those payments to the custodial parent. And children. In 2021, the government kept an estimated, this is in 2021, the government kept an estimated
Wow.
$1.3 billion in child support.
What y'all doing with that money?
To this
What y'all doing to
approach
people money?
to cost recovery essentially requires poor non-custodial parents to repay the federal government for the minimal cash aid that their children receive, providing neither parents nor children with economic security. So if that don't make you understand that the system is set up to break both of y'all down because you don't went through the fight to put this man on child support, he done paid the child support, but because you get AFDC because you ain't got no damn job,
And a
the
lot of them, they
government
ain't
keeping
trying
it
to work.
all.
A lot of them ain't trying to work, boy. They live off that child support. Look, as my brother said, he in the store one day, and a dude was asking his girlfriend, "Man, you ain't got your child support check yet, so I can get these J's."
See what I'm saying?
My brother
Not
said he
even for the
looked at
right
that child.
reasons.
He said, "Man, he said, boy, if I know that chick, I probably would have said something to her."
They said states could end these policies and they can refocus the enforcement efforts toward providing services such as job training and placement, therefore
Hmm.
lessening the punitive targeting of low income men and black men in particular, and increasing the likelihood of child programs lead to actual economic benefits for poor children and families. You know why that's not going to happen? Because that's
They
just too
ain't gonna do
right.
that.
It's too
Hmm.
right. It's too
They
much
ain't finna
right in
let
that.
you. They ain't finna let you level up on them.
Oh,
They ain't finna let you do that.
you
Like,
that mean you beating them at their
and,
game.
and then they can't pocket they pockets.
So
It's crazy.
so another thing that happened recently in 2021. Well, this is I'm gonna say this portion as a during a time frame. Enforcement measures, as I said, enforcement measures target Black men with economic and carceral punishment. And from the 1970s through the
Mm.
1990s, the federal government implemented multiple harsh enforcement measures within the child support program. These enforcement policies included, which are still in effect today, range from garnishing up to 2/3 of non-custodial parents' wages and suspending their drivers and professional licenses to reporting child support debt to credit bureaus and even incarcerating them. These policies have a long history of punishing people for being Black and poor. So we punish just for being Black and poor. Not the fact that we pay all the taxes and keep the world running, but because we Black and poor, we're punished punitively.
At least we get
Overall, roughly
civil.
15% of all Black fathers in the US, and this is the important number that I wanted. This is why I read this statement. Overall, roughly 15% of all Black fathers in larger US cities have been incarcerated at some point for non-payment of child support, where
Mm.
it's compared with 5% of fathers overall. So roughly 15% of Black fathers, of all Black fathers in the US cities and larger US cities, has been incarcerated for non-payment, with a US number of only 5% nationwide.
Nationwide.
So Black people in each city encompass the non-payment of child support incarceration, when there's only a 5% number
Mm.
worldwide.
I be tell you, I don't be believing these statistics half the time because they be lying.
Well, the only reason why I believe that is because more Black men are in prison for child support
Yeah,
than other
yeah.
races, but it's a higher number is what they're saying. So 12% nationwide of the inmates that are in prison are Black people for non-payment, but only 5% of all the other races combined are in there for non-payment. And you know they don't pay. You know half of them damn. You know a lot of the people, a lot of the white folk who live in trailer parks, a lot of the white folk who live in the
Mm-hmm.
projects, they got their baby daddies on child support too.
Mm-hmm. That what I'm thinking about, and they
They
ain't
ain't
paying
getting
either.
enforced. They ain't paying, but they ain't getting picked up either.
Mm-mm. They still working their day. They going to work every day. They done got pulled over by the police.
Girl, I
Everything. Then went to jail,
girl,
and
we
that
get
don't even
pulled
come
over.
up.
We get pulled over by the police if our tag still say 2021. Even
Girl,
though the
what?
registration, they can run that tag and see that that tag done been updated. The sticker just ain't been put on. I done rode behind, got in the car behind several white people with expired tags,
Expired tags.
riding around, just constantly riding around.
And they be
I,
months expired.
months, girl. I just got was behind one today
Months.
with still
Darn near a year.
March 2021 on her tag. We in July of 2022.
My daughter just
So
got pulled over for her tag because she forgot to get her sticker for her tag in April.
who did
So I said, girl, how you
exactly?
forget to get?
That
She
baby
said,
got
Mom.
pulled over by her tag not getting a sticker, but her registration has already been updated. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can run my tag and see my registration has been updated.
It's crazy.
But you want to pull me just to give me a ticket. Just like we
It's
find
all about
and
that money.
I'm telling you, it ain't even just about the money. It's not just money thing for us when it comes to that. It's just injustice. It's just an injustice
That
thing
too.
when it comes to Black people more than anything, because it's so many laws and different things that are set in place that are already put in place to tear us and break us, because we're not going to read further into it.
Yeah.
Everybody, we when we get pulled over, we don't have to give up our driver's license or our registration. It's not a law that we have to do that. That's not a law.
And you already done read my tag.
That's not a law. We don't got to do nothing like that. If we just, because you know what that's called? Traveling. Driving is called traveling. They're not supposed to pull you for traveling.
Hmm.
Not even on the interstate. You know when you need a license? When you are driving a bus, a taxi cab, things that are public transit,
Mm-hmm.
those are when they can ask you for registration and license. I'm telling you, it's just things we gotta know. It's the more you know, the
May I
more you
have
get
your
better at.
registration and license, please?
And the next time I ever get pulled, I'm gonna say no. Well, is there anything I can help you with? Was there something I was
That
doing?
I did. Did I
Because you
pass?
know
Did I
what you're
run through the
supposed to
light?
say? Right. You know what one of the things you're not supposed one thing you're not supposed to do is say you are Candace Johnson. You're supposed to say you're the representative of Candace Johnson. Because you know why? Candace Johnson is a government entity. You belong to the
Mm.
government. But if you say I'm a fiduciary or a representative of Candace Johnson, it's a whole nother ball game, baby. It's about the word play.
It's all about the words. All about the words.
All about the word
They
play.
always say it's all about the. It's always about the words. The way you say it. It's the
The
way
way it's
you say
typed.
it.
I can go to court right now and be the lawyer with things that I've learned
Mm-hmm.
along the way. Just from knowing that all I have to do is just say I'm a human. I'm the human. And I'm in human form representing Shelby Smith for the things that you are charging her here for today. But you can't charge me for this because that's not me. I'm the human. I'm the person representing her. But that person
Mm-hmm.
belongs to this country. I'm not a person that belongs to this country. You supposed to if you're not a we got to stop saying we United States citizens. That's not what we are. We're not. Your name is a
Yeah.
United States citizen. That's what it is. But natural law states that you're just the human form of a person. You're a person. You're a human being.
Look, we ain't even that.
We're a ball of energy.
Look, they don't even look at look. They don't even look at us as human. Like we ain't even that.
Based on the laws, we definitely are. That's what I'm saying. You got to challenge a lot of these things. If we want to really get ahead a lot more than what we really are, that's what coming together really will save us from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they fear it. That's why they keep on throwing different things out there to like
Yep.
child support and things out there to keep on breaking us apart. Is things you can utilize to keep a culture down. And if I don't get that child support check, I'm so mad that I'm gonna go over there and put that man in jail. That we done broke up another family.
It don't be. It don't cause all that.
It don't. But it's just so many things that we do that we could be doing actually to help each other along the process, but we don't. We choose to make sure that what benefits us is the only thing we care about, even if it
Mm-hmm.
hurt our child. So if we go back to the quote of the day, which is a child's youth is fleeting, be their pillars while you are still strong enough to support them. And that means more than just saying that I'm taking your dad to child support and I'm supporting you with that. It means more than that. That means the village has to be rebuilt. We have to
Yeah.
we got to rehash this village, dog, because if we
Mm-hmm.
don't, we're going to continue to have situational standards of this. And now it's more kids having kids. They just having kids. They ain't having kids from husbands and stuff or men that they in love with. They just having babies. They
They're
fucking.
just having babies. They just and you got
I
to
see them all over the store.
even if you're not with that child's father, you got to show your kids that y'all can have a good co-parenting relationship.
Exactly.
And that's gonna help your kids evolve into having good relationships with other people outside of with everybody in their
With
family.
everybody.
With everybody. So you have to show that. And it is heartbreaking because people have that and sometimes other people come in and break and
Break it.
they break it up because a lot of
Your
people don't
bond wasn't strong
understand that.
enough anyway. Because that's what happened with a lot of people. Because I don't know if this was. I think I know we might have talked about that, but that in most situations I know it's because they date somebody else and that person got they person in their ear like this right here,
Hmm.
trying to
Hmm.
make them
And
change how they operate.
change how they operate when everything was already running smooth. But when people, and then when that person ain't used to it, because they got they mess going on over here with they whoever they was dealing with their children, daddy. Like people when they see structure, they feel like something wrong. This just too good to be true.
Yep. Yep.
This just I just know all y'all cannot get along together.
Y'all got
Like
to be hunching. Y'all
y'all
got to be still
some
messing
the
around.
y'all still cool, the parents cool, like everybody come together and make sure the kids okay. Yeah, like that's what you call a village. The main purpose is for those children.
It's for the kids. It's for the
That's
kids.
it's for them. Like
It's for
so.
building up those kids. And if we're not building up the kids, we really tearing them down. We're not helping them.
Mhm. And then they go to the next generation. They go you go the next cycle of generation repeating the same crap over and over and over again. Nah, that my baby daddy. I ain't finna let him see my kid. He had girl, please look. Let that man see that child. Let him see it.
It's ridiculous.
Sometimes just that being around being around those kids and their other parent, that's more valuable than money. But we do know money. You need the finances to make sure that the kids have what they need and stuff. Because these kids are in a whole bunch of extracurricular activities these days. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them is, and I mean
But
it
y'all gonna
ain't
have to come
cheap.
together. You got to
But
come together
everybody
on
got to
that
come
though.
together on
Yeah,
that.
because you can't. Because that ain't. Because sometimes when if that man paying you $300 every 2 weeks, that's $600 a month. If you you can't take all that and put it on the bills. If that child needs stuff, put some of that on that
You got to
because
put
that's
some of
what
that
that
towards
check is
that.
for. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to pay the light bill with some of that money because that child live with you. But what I am saying is that if that man is able to dish out child support and still
Mhm.
run his household,
That's what it is.
you
And
supposed to be able to run your household the
like
same
I
way.
always say, like I told my kids' dad, and me and my brother did had this conversation before too. Regardless if you pay or don't pay, baby, these bills still gonna get paid. They still gonna get paid. They still gonna get paid. So whatever extra come, okay, these children need they. I only get paid for one, but I have to use what I get paid for one for both of them because the adult child still in college.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, what you sending, it ain't just for this one child. Both of our children are here.
So the Zoe's don't stop at 18. She had that. He got
Zoe's on
he.
stop right at 18.
Yeah, a lot of people don't stop at 18. I know some people child support stuff don't go until it don't end till they 21. I know some people
Hmm.
stuff it just depends on the type of child support,
You
like
and
how
you have
y'all
to,
did
yeah,
it.
and then you got to go back to, and if you want it, you have to
Go back,
go
right.
back to court. And I was like, you know what, I ain't even finna go back because what the amount that they gave me for Rashard, I'm like, okay, that if whatever Zoe need, she'll have to just get it out of here too. And then we got our village, so all of us come together, and we call him
Mm-hmm.
too, even though he didn't send his money through them. Hey, hey, these children need something that they need something extra, and that's just what it is. And it's been a long, crazy road, but like I told them, look, if you pay it, don't pay it. It ain't gonna hurt me. I just have to work a little bit harder, get some more hours, do some more hair, do something like that, or somebody else out of the village gonna pick up the slack anyway.
But the fact that y'all got a village is an important asset to you guys anyway. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
parents don't have that. A lot of people just don't have that. If I can honestly say like my family can step in and do a lot of stuff that don't require finances. But my children's grandmother on their dad's side can step in and do things that are financially stable for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my children's father on child support, never have actually, but I do go through shit with him because he don't always because he don't his thing is I'm not gonna send it to you, I'll send it to the kid. I don't give a fuck who get it.
Okay, just as long as they get it.
But you don't, but if you send it to the kid, what you're doing is just helping them continue to get their hair done, continue to do this and do
Mm-hmm.
those things that they do on their own or that I help do. But I'm not going to worry about if I don't get a check because it's not going to affect whether or not the bills get paid, as you say.
Yep.
But because our kids do live here, it would help. But you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But if as a father, if you don't look at that in that way, I'm not gonna force you to do it. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
be honest with you. I just don't got to deal with you. And then the
Shit.
kids can see. I'd
Yeah,
rather
you
let
ain't got to
kids
say
see.
nothing.
I ain't never got to
Yeah,
do it.
you have
So
to let those kids see. That's why I'll be like,
they old
you
enough
don't
to
have to
see.
mail back. You don't have to mail back. You don't have to bash your kids. You don't have to bash your kids. Other parent. I used to get on my
Mm-mm.
husband about that all the time when we first started dating. And he used to how he used to just say stuff about their mom, and I had to tell him. I said, let me tell you one thing here. Long as you with me, you better not never say nothing negative about her. I don't care what she have done,
Don't say that in
because at
front
the
of them.
end of the day, that's still their mama. And
Yep.
you just like you don't just like they hurt if she say something about them, you don't let them hear you say nothing. And I saying you ain't even finna bash her like that in front of me, cause you wouldn't want mine to be doing me like that. You'll be ready to say something to him. And from that day forward, I said that to him. He ain't said nothing else about that girl. He might now
Because it
if he
made
speak
sense.
on her, he speak on the truth and what he know about it.
And
But other than
he
that,
probably said it to you, like directly to you as a conversation,
as a
not
conversation
as
that we
a
having.
yeah,
But I'm
exactly.
like, you don't do that, cause look, you laid with her.
But
She
see,
she was
that's the
something.
part. That's the part about knowing who you laying up with. Half of the time, y'all don't be knowing who y'all laying up with.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships or not, the people trick you. So
Baby,
yes, but
baby.
to sum up the conversation, I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of the damages that child support can bring to us as a culture, but also know that if you don't, whatever you think you're doing or getting from child support, just know the government is getting more. We love you. We like you. We appreciate you all for tuning in today. Queen, you got anything you want to give to the people before we get up out of here?
Man, look, enjoy the rest of the week. It's been raining, but maybe we
Mm-hmm.
need the rain. But y'all just enjoy the rest of the week. Stay positive. Look, hey, do something good for yourself. Don't never neglect yourself. Never neglect yourself. Never neglect yourself.
That's right.
You got to be first, be put first, so you can be able to help handle and take care of everybody else that's around you. But you got to make sure you put yourself first. And man, look, enjoy the rest of this week. Like I say, look, have your good weekend because we almost there. The weekend is
It's
almost
almost
here.
there.
It's almost, even though I got to
Anytime.
work,
Me too.
it's still the weekend. It's still
I
the
gotta work all
weekend.
weekend. But even
So yeah,
the thing is that if even if you can't do it all, just make
yeah,
sure you do your best. That's the only thing we want
that's
to put
it.
out there. Just
That's
because
it.
don't stress yourself out trying to do more than you can. Um, Obstacles are going to be thrown in your direction every single day. You're going to have to
Hmm.
shake through some of them. You're going to have to run through some of them, and you're going to have to ignore some of them. But what you got to do is make sure to keep your head on your shoulders correctly because you got people that need you and you got you that need you. And with that
Yeah,
being said, y'all, we appreciate y'all so much for being our shoulders when we come on here and need to lean as we discuss our daily conversations. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next Wednesday. It's gonna be a couple in the beginning of August because of my transition into my new place. We're gonna have two shows that are oh, older interviews that new to y'all, just a little bit
oh,
older to us. Um, but we're gonna put on the first 2 weeks of August are not going to be live shows. I have to go ahead and put that out there now because I will not be into my new
busy,
place yet.
busy,
I
busy,
gotta do
busy.
stuff. So we gonna what we're gonna do is either if we do come and do one, it'll be a surprise. But
A pop
I'm
up.
just putting it out there that they'll pop up. I'm putting it out there that the first two shows of August we will definitely not be live, but we will have two shows for you guys. So definitely tune in and check us out and support us as you all do. So thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Y'all have a great evening. Peace. Bye, Queen.